Okay, welcome back to Cooking with MrDan. Today we're gonna a different method of cooking bacon. Penny doesn't really like it hard and crunchy or whatever. Emma likes the fat to be a little chewy. Anyway, so I've been looking at this for a long time, so I decided to try it, and it actually does come out a little better. I even like it. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook some bacon up for you, and maybe it'll change the way you cook it. It's going to come out a little bit plump, juicy, and you can get it crispy at the same time. Okay? So give us a couple seconds. We're on the way. This is your standard non-stick semi-wok, I guess, that we're going to be using. Simple thing. I got my knife sharpener back there and right there. I got my knife, cutting board, and the bacon. We'll be back. Okay, so you guys know every time I say make sure you got a nice good edge on your knife. This is a sharpener that I use. It's called the Bavarian Edge. There's other names for it, but when I got it, that's what it was called. Very simple to use. You got your two blade things here. You see how they move? Okay, take your knife, put it in there. Now if you hold it up, that's like a coarse sharpening or honing. If you hold it down, down is the coarse one. If you want to just get the edge just about right, little sharpen, you hold it up, point the tip towards the sky. Okay? You only need to do it a few times. You don't have to sit there for an hour, and you'll end up with a nub. And then I just clean off. See, there's really nothing there. Okay? So then, now you guys, if you remember from what I've taught before, the bacon I use is, I get thick slab bacon from Sprouts. And this is what it looks like after we break it up, because they put it in nice multiple pound packages. So then we split it up and I put it into 1 pound packs. See? And it's nice bacon. But I use it for two things. Number one, I use it for the bacon. And then what I'll do is I'll cut, especially some of this here, this real thick fat on the end. I cut that off and I save that for when I'm making my sausage, or just needs a little bacon flavor in the dish that you make. Just cut some of the fat off. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. And it's good. You get two things out of bacon, right? So then you can, with this recipe I'm going to show you, you can cook it in full slices. You can cut it in half. I just cut it up in little chunks, not little chunks, but little 1-inch pieces maybe. Because the way I eat it, I don't eat a lot of bacon at one time. So, and then this comes in handy for when you're having recipes that call for a little bit of bacon. You throw it in there. It adds nice flavor. I even do it like when I'm making bacon and eggs. That way you don't overdo the bacon fat part, you know. But I saved the fat. I put it in the freezer. And I use that for like when making sausage or other things, like I said. But that's why I cut mine in strips like this. You guys can cook it any way you like, and you can cook the whole thing. You don't have to cut it at all. But when I did this recipe the other day, again, I said, well, I don't know how many people already do it. But at one point, I think especially in 2019, or whatever, it was all the rage. People were talking about it. I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't take long. It's a little longer than cooking bacon, I think. Just not by much, though. But anyhow, like you see, like I'm doing here, just cutting it up nice and easy. You got a good sharp knife, and voila, it's done. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to put the bacon in the pan. which I'm going to move the camera over there so I can show you what I'm doing. And this is going to be quick and easy. Hopefully it's painless. Okay, I got my bacon. So we're putting, you don't have to split it up or nothing, but I do it just because. We're going to put that in. And you notice I haven't turned it on yet. And like I said, I use thick slab bacon, so, but this works with any bacon. You just got to keep an eye on it once you start cooking. And you'll see it actually, the first time I did it, it actually surprised me how it turned out. And Penny really liked it, so I think this is the way I'm going to stick with doing it from now on. My Emma, she hasn't been over yet for a while, so, but when she comes, I want her to try it. She'll probably like it too, because this is the way she always tells me, oh, I don't like it when it's so hard, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I want to taste the fat. I don't like fat, so. But problem is when you're cooking, anybody that's been cooking a while knows you need some kind of fat to cook. So, you know, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place if you don't like it. Penny says, because I trim it all the time, I trim fat off of everything. I trim my chicken, trim the steak, and you know, a lot of times people say, oh, if you don't leave on fat, it'll be all dried out. I don't know. I think I do pretty good with trimming the fat and the meat coming out moist. So, anyway. So we're going to break all this up. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to add some water. And once I add the water, believe it or not, we're going to cook this in water. And I like it for a couple reasons, because first of all, it doesn't splatter as much. And so it's easy to clean off the stove or whatever. And then it's fun watching the water change color because of the fat. And the fat and everything, it's cooking slow. The trick to doing bacon, I've always done it on my stove, is low and slow. So this takes care of that too, by the water keeps everything at a nice constant almost. All right, hold on. Okay, so we're back. So what I'm going to do now is turn on the stove to high. Okay, and I'm going to add in some water, and I'll show you in a minute. I just now got to remember one thing. I'm just putting enough water on the bottom. I'm not really covering too much of the meat. Remember, the more water you put in here, the longer you're going to have to wait. So I'm going to show you what it looks like here. Okay, I don't know if you can see it that well, but you see? Not that much water in the pan. If you put too much, like I said, it's still going to work. You're just going to have to wait longer for the water to dissipate. And that's what you want to do. You want to cook the water off. All right, we'll be back. And what you want to do is you want to get the water to boil, and I'll show you as it's going along. But I'm not gonna keep you on camera. You know, they say a watch pot don't boil or whatever it is. I don't know, one of those old adages. But it's funny because once this water heats up, it gets like almost like a milky color. But that's the fat. The fat's cooking down. So we'll be back in once I get this up a little bit, and I'll show you again. Okay, if you'll notice, this hasn't been on, but I don't think 2 minutes. But see how the water turns like a milky color, and the fat's starting to cook. You can see this little bit of steam. So once this thing comes up to a full rumbling boil, I'll leave it on there for a couple, maybe a minute. And then we're going to lower it to medium. And then you got to keep your eyes on it, because this water will evaporate pretty quick. You see how it's coming to a boil now? Okay, we'll be back. The other thing I want you guys to notice is it's not splattering everywhere. And this thing's at almost a royal rumbling boil here. So, but it's not spattering on the stove, and that's what I want to show you too. That's another nice convenience this does. Because at the end it will spatter a little bit once you start cooking down. You're down to the bare metal of the pot basically, because there's going to be a little bit of fat left. And that's what you want to cook. You either want to cook it or cook it dark, brown it up more, or like the way it turned out. Penny likes it. That's all I care about. It's good. And I think that you're going to get more flavor. I'll get more flavor out of this when I use it in cooking and other things, because it won't be dry and crunchy, you know. I'll be able to get some more flavor out of the bacon when I'm using it later on. So now I'm turning it down to medium heat. Now I'll tell you, when I made some the other day, don't turn your back on this, because that water evaporates pretty quick. So we'll be back. Okay, I just wanted to give you an update. As you can see, a lot of the water has steamed off. Like I said, the more water you put in, is longer you're going to have to wait for the process, but it's okay. It just, you ain't doing nothing. You're cooking bacon. Just take your time. You're going to love it at the end. But see how that goes? And you can see the meat's cooking. Everything's going to come together nice. At the end, you'll be happy you did what you do. Okay, see, once you get past the milky color, see now it's kind of just bacon grease now, whatever's left as far as the fat that hasn't rendered down. But if you'll notice, it's starting to brown up. So you drop the heat to medium-low, which I already done. You don't want it to cook too fast. And then from here, you just cook until you get it to your desired brownness or whatever. And we'll see what it looks like when it's done. Okay, there you have it. I want you to take a good look at that bacon. It's all nice and evenly browned. It looks delicious. It's very inviting. So what we're going to do, I'm not going to go to the taste test table today for a piece of bacon. So what we're going to do is we're just going to grab one. It's still hot. I'm telling you, there's a big difference doing it this way than frying it without water. But anyway, delicious. You guys need to give it a try. If you liked the video today, give me a thumbs up. Share with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't done that. Hit the notification bell. And like Elmo keeps reminding all of us, cover your nose when you're out and about. Well, your nose in your mouth. Don't talk with your mouth full. And until next time, my friends, stay hungry and come back when you are, and we'll give you another fun recipe. This is MrDan. We're out.